Hey everybody, welcome to Higher Powered on PromoHomo.TV. I'm your host, Nicholas Snow, and all things happen for a reason, but I just want Paul backstage. If you hear me, I don't see you, so you haven't figured out the video issue, and I will not be able to bring you on camera. So try to figure that out, and in the meantime, I'm going to kick you out of the studio so you can reconnect. So that's what's going on there. My friend Paul is joining us again today. By popular demand, I had him on the show on January 1st to give tarot predictions for 2022. There are multiple series on PromoHomo.TV. Higher Powered is one of them, and it looks at all sorts of approaches to spirituality and consciousness and higher thought, and it also happens to bring 12-step recovery out of the closet in a way that is respectful to those particular programs. In this episode, however, we're focusing on fantastic insights that are available from the tarot. It's for entertainment purposes only. I should throw that out, although I give it a little bit more credence than that, and I know my guest does too. So hopefully he'll be able to join us. So from Denver originally, Paul has been performing in Los Angeles and beyond for close to 30 years. His one-man show, Trade Tables Up, Secrets of a Beverly Hills Shampoo Boy, ran for a year and was LA Weekly's Pick of the Week. You may have seen him in NBC's Off Their Rockers with the late, great Betty White. He was recently the spiritual advisor on the LOL network on Kevin Hart's new show with Anna Kendrick, and he wrote for Joan Rivers for How to Get So Rich for TV Land. As an actor, he can also be seen in the feature film Creative Differences on Amazon. A professional comedian, he is a regular at the world-famous Comedy Store in Los Angeles, and he headlines countrywide. And he's coming up on the show today, I hope. That is yet to be determined, but we'll figure it out. In the meantime, I have plenty of things to talk to you about. So, first of all, for their support of my show, I want to thank DAP Health. I'm a grateful client of DAP, and I actually live in the affordable housing complex for DAP Health, where I am at this moment. Also, for their support, I want to thank 849 Restaurant and Lounge on North Palm Canyon here in Palm Springs. And I'm a proud media sponsor of the LGBTQ Community Center of the Desert. Their mission, creating a vibrant community by helping LGBT folks along their way. I'm also a proud media sponsor of Palm Springs Pride. You can find them at pspride.org. And this program is distributed across the Twitterverse with the support of the hashtag #ILoveGay campaign. And I want to thank my local media partners, KGay 1065 FM, the hashtag #ILoveGay Palm Springs podcast, and GayDesertGuide.lgbt. And also, merch is available. And I'm really excited about that. You can find it at Amazon, or you can go to the merch link at PromoHomo.TV. This is one of them. I'm your supermodel for the day. No offense to RuPaul, who was the ultimate and first supermodel. Well, that's debatable. If you're Heidi Klum, she might have a different opinion. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, always hit the bell during a broadcast. That means you'll be notified of future broadcasts. And of course, there's the opportunity to follow socially. And Paul, if you hear me, stay put. We may not be able to see you in today's broadcast, but at least we'll be able to hear you, so don't go away. Hopefully you see me. My patron and regular viewer, Rock, is watching live. He says, Nick and Paul, rainbow hugs. And Aaron Terry is also watching. He's also happens to be a patron of the show. And we have SBM classes also saying hello. We love that. So let me just see what is next. I'm the director, the producer, the host, the lighting guy. I'm everything. Okay, so if you're watching live, I'm going to be doing a giveaway in today's show. And the hashtag that you want to put into the comments on the social media platform where you're watching. This will work, I believe, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Facebook. I don't think it works if you're watching on Twitter. And if you're watching on the embedded PromoHomo.TV, you need to go to one of those other platforms for me to see your comment. But this is the prize today. And at the end of the show, I'm going to do a drawing. So we're going to talk about the fact that PromoHomo.TV is viewer-supported television. It's happening because of wonderful patrons who have voluntarily subscribed to the network for as little as $10 a month. And I would like you to meet some of them right now. I'll be your light. So all of those patrons are going to be invited to my exclusive 60th birthday party subscriber thank you celebration at 849 Restaurant and Lounge here in Palm Springs the afternoon of Sunday, April 24th, 2022. I'm actually turning 60 on April 25th. And if you become a patron and you live outside the area, I'm going to work out a way for you to connect to the broadcast that happens there that day and be on camera if you want to. That's optional for you. Of course, you don't have to do something you don't want. And some people, they don't want to be on camera. So with that, I'm going to experiment and see what happens when I try to add Paul to the stream. So, Paul, can you see or hear me? So he can't see or hear me, so I have another solution. I'm going to connect to Paul via the telephone today. And so let's bring him up on the screen. So just 1 second. I'm going to call him right now and put him on speaker.
Hello, I'm on Wi-Fi now.
Well, you're now live via speakerphone on my phone because I was not able to connect your video to the broadcast. So welcome to the show, Paul.
Oh, hello, Nicholas. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this. My goodness.
I'm excited too. I'm a bit bummed that people can't see you today, but we're working it out because your fabulous picture is on the screen with tarot cards and so. I feel a bit ridiculous because I'm holding my phone up next to the speaker. But, you know, we go with the flow and we do what we need to do. Our friends, by the way, are already watching. We have our usuals. Rock and Aaron are in the studio today. And who knows who's going to be tuning in. So you are unexpectedly in the area. Yeah, so welcome to the Coachella Valley.
Well, thank you. Yes, indeed. Through an amazing set of circumstances, I was in Las Vegas this weekend, and then coming back through, I'm here in the Coachella Valley, and actually was going to have dinner with some friends, and then night before last, he suddenly passed away in his sleep. So I'm actually going to be here for a couple of days helping. And And that's, the journey of life, Nicholas, is we all are so used to our routine life, but really life is breath to breath. And as my spiritual teacher used to say, I think it's so cute that you think you get breakfast tomorrow. Because life and living is always in the moment. And it's one of the reasons I love tarot. It's like an ancient GPS. It'll give you sort of the forecast. And I so enjoy that you pull a tarot card for your morning meditation, because I pulled one for us today for this broadcast, which is the 10 of Cups, which is about fortune and good fortune. And it shows a rainbow, of course it does. With 10 cups in it. And cups hold all the goodies. They hold love and spirituality, and it shows a couple holding hands, enjoying the rainbow. And I thought, what a perfect card for the two of us.
Well, I love that. And I'm going to set my phone down because I'm going to pull out my deck and I'm going to draw my card for the day, which I waited to do for you to come on the air. So, my audience is going to see it, and I have drawn the Wheel of Fortune right side up.
Perfect. Which is we let it roll. The circumstances around us, and we're in such good astro weather. For the next 12 weeks, all planets are going direct. So there's really literally no obstacles, except obviously electronic today, but that we're all moving forward. So dream big dreams, kids. Let's go.
So I was speaking to a friend of mine, Jeffrey, and he specifically wanted to know from your astrological viewpoint and your astrological expertise, if you could talk about what is going on that is impacting this immense global conflict that we're all on edge about.
There's several things. As we began this year, I work with some amazing astrologers, and we went through some pretty intense transits. Now, I have adored and loved astrology forever, and I use it for forecasting, much like, so within this question, some of the transits that we are seeing, the energy hitting the planet hasn't been seen in thousands of years. I mean, since big events like the fall of Rome, or the creation of the United States. There's a Pluto aspect, and Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. So there is a lot of political tension as Pluto moves through. There's a lot of things that need to pass away and move forward. So within that intense, and Pluto moves slowly. These are going to be slow and methodic changes. Now, people go, wait, does that mean we're all going to blow up? Well, I don't think it means that. I do think that there will be radical change, but this has been going on for the past about 11 years. So we are now coming to a culmination. We've come through a Mercury Retrograde, and people always have a awareness of that. And that means that, and Mercury governs things in the air and communication and electronics. And so within that, the communication has been chattery, and people were not really understanding, and tempers can flare. So, but believe it or not, where we're moving through in this week, it's going to smooth things out. It's going to calm things down. We need to be awake and aware, but it is actually going to be a nice balm to our senses.
Okay, so let's back up a bit and tell me how you personally became involved in astrology and tarot, and you consider yourself a witch as well.
I am sort of a Buddhist, Episcopal, Jewish Wiccan, and what that means is sort of a salad bar. I love truth wherever I find it. Now, when I was growing up in Colorado in the late 60s, feeling just like such an odd person, I just didn't know where I fit. I began to look outside of the norm. We were part of the local church, and I got the message about this guy, Jesus, and he had some friends, and they hung out. And then it kind of ends badly. There's treachery and deceit, and I'm like, I don't think I like that. And since I was such an odd, weird gay kid, I was in study hall in high school, and a friend of mine brought a pack of tarot cards, and I was fascinated by the illustrations. And so the more that we began with the booklet, doing, little mini readings. As I look back now, some of them were not inaccurate. The power that allows you to draw a specific card is so large. So I began to study tarot then, and that's been, I graduated in 76, so almost 50 years that I have been in love with tarot. But within that, I had a very dear friend who was deeply metaphysical, and she helped join the circuitry from like spooky, mystery, ghosty stories into a working scientific way that creation and things happen. And that, along with that, astrology, which is both a science and an art. And I began to look at my sun sign and my moon sign and my rising, and finding a lot of what I was finding was true for me. And therefore, the more I began to be interested in the use of timing. So it's always, I at one time worked on one of those amazing psychic lines in the early 90s. And it was really like metaphysical college. The woman next to me was an astrologer. And this is at a time when they had a massive book. It looked like the Gutenberg Bible. It was huge. And it was an ephemeris. And it had all of the information, because with astrology, they can forecast forward and backward by the movement of the planets. So I began to listen to her and have conversations with her. And she was almost faster than a computer now. This is 1990 and 91. So I can't imagine what she would do with software now that can do the transits in a flash, because they used to do it by hand. So as I began my quest for what worked in my life, there are precepts of Buddhism that are just beautiful. And I'm still, I had a woman recently ask me, she goes, well, what you do is the devil's work. And I went, oh, wow, that's a jump. And she said, why? I said, are you aware that the Catholic Church itself has its own staff of astrologers at the Vatican, which is true, and that they have an observatory in South America? The Catholic Church is deeply aware of the movements of the planets. In fact, a scientist said, if we don't respond to the movement of the moon, we're the only animal on the planet that doesn't. So it has been a wonderful and marvelous journey. And then to work with the intuitive arts, about clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, that has gotten me through. We know each other in so many realms of entertainment, Nicholas. Well, I remember being backstage with you at the Comedy Store, and which is just stuffed with ghosts. And I was a receptionist at the Comedy Store, and that was my metaphysical college as well. It's hard to get things done when the printer is possessed by a demon, or there's a ghost, messing around downstairs and making a lot of noise. But that's the weird and wonderful life that I have, that I ended up here in Palm Springs. I would have never imagined Friday morning that this is where my journey would go. But I have and I've had to work on a trust and faith in the universe that it will always protect me and take me exactly where I'm needed. And I say in my morning meditation, I'm only here to represent He who sent me. And the woman goes, so do you believe in Jesus? I said, I'm such a fan. And she said, but what you do is evil. I said, oh, I'm not a politician. So.
Oh my goodness. So I was raised Episcopalian, and then I went through my own, to the horror of my family, a very fundamentalist Christian phase. And then I got really into metaphysics and science of mind. Mm-hmm. And then I came to a place where I didn't feel comfortable in any environment that felt like it was the way, the truth, and the light. And the way I've come to articulate my own spiritual philosophy is that I embrace any part of any teaching that celebrates the universal equality of humanity, and I reject any part of any teaching that in order to be right has to make other people wrong.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful, Nicholas. My goodness.
And I actually, there's a lot of things that I really appreciated in my charismatic Christian days. For example, raising my hands to a higher power. I find that to be extremely moving. And you know what, Paul?
Yes.
if we get to the end of all this and there is no God and and this is all made up by humans, I really am not concerned because the faith that I have is giving me such a different and better quality of life, and informs a path toward love and joy.
Well, and because we share such a history, and I say this frequently, I have faced AIDS, alcoholism, and 2 emergency landings as a flight attendant. I've got dying down. It's living difficult. And I think about some of the stuff that you and I have faced. Look how marvelously the universe is taking care of us. That we're doing this today is just, I really kind of get excited at a time when people are going, oh, don't you think it's time for you to learn how to play golf and, settle down? I feel like a kid getting ready to go on a field trip. I'm so excited about what's next. Now, my body is different than when I was 20, but my spirit is just growing and growing. And like in the case of my friend Jim that just passed, within 45 minutes from him having distress, he had passed over. So the real truth is we really don't know. And I like that we don't know. In the last minutes of my emergency landing, when I was pretty convinced it would end in a flaming ball of wreckage, I thought, well, I've had quite a run, like a Broadway show. But every show closes. And I wondered what's more, because what I do know is there is more. And now that I've moved down to the beach in Long Beach, I take my coffee out and I'll stand there and watch the ocean and think, who's doing this? And whatever this amazing energy is that is based on love, that's what stitches the universe together. And I stand with you in that I am wildly interested in things that expand love and the beauty of the human consciousness, and I reject any ugliness or hate because it's ultimately not the truth. Love is all there is. Love is what God is, and there is no, if there was an opposite, I think it would be indifference. And Lord knows I have opinions about everything. I'm not indifferent about much, so there you go.
Okay, Paul, so I want to remind our viewers that if you want Paul to draw a card for you, please use your comment feature on the social media platform where you're watching. You need to be watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube in order for me to see your comment. But Paul is happy to draw a card in response to a specific question. And in the meantime, I'm going to take a break, and I'll be back with Paul after this. Hey everybody, Nicholas Snow here, the founder, producer, and host of PromoHomo.TV, with information on how you can score an exclusive invitation to my 60th birthday party on the patio right here at 849 Restaurant and Lounge. PromoHomo.TV is free across major social media platforms and at PromoHomo.TV. My goal for my 60th birthday is to find 600 people in the entire world to voluntarily subscribe to PromoHomo.TV for as little as $10 a month. If that's you and you subscribe on or before April 24th, 2022, you'll score an exclusive invitation to my 60th birthday party on the patio right here at 849 Restaurant and Lounge. If you're outside the area and you subscribe before that date or anytime during 2022, I'm going to send you a surprise gift in the 4th month of your support if you're unable to make the party. I'm also offering through April 25th, 2022, 50% off the business listings at PromoHomo.TV, and my goal is to sell out all of my series sponsorships as well. PromoHomo.TV is connecting the circuitry of humanity by creating programming for LGBTQ plus everyone, and together we'll continue to give the gift of PromoHomo.TV to the world. For more information, simply go to patreon.com/PromoHomo.TV. That's patreon.com/PromoHomo.TV. Signing up is easy. I hope to see you here. And I'm still on the phone with Paul, and welcome back to the show. And I know that you have questions for Paul out there, because some of the people who are viewed the last time he was on and had questions then. So I really am encouraging you to comment with your tarot related question for Paul. It could be about finance, romance, hot pants, or whatever, and we'll address that. So Paul, I want you to be one of the first people, along with whoever's watching live, to know something.
Oh, tell me.
So, one of the things that I love, for example, when I have watched for example, The View on ABC, is the really interesting hot topics discussions that the cast has at the top of the show, and their hot topics section has actually become really the most important and watched part of the show. So I'm introducing something like that in the coming weeks or in the next month or so. And I'm going to play a short video for my audience. And while they're watching that video, I'll tell you what it is. So there you have it. I'm going to be having hot topics on a regular basis in special episodes of the Nicholas Snow Show, and those will be called The Snowstorm. And I'm looking forward to developing a rotating roster of really interesting guests. And if you're interested in being considered to be one of the panelists for that regularly recurring segment, go to PromoHomo.TV and look for pitching guest in the main menu. And there's a contact link, and just let me know that you're interested. And if you have links to your work in journalism or media or commentary, provide those as well. So the reason I wanted you to know about that, Paul, is I just think you'd be a great panelist on that particular installment.
Oh, I would love to, Nicholas. I'd be so honored. How much fun is that?
Yes, the snowstorm. I wish you could see the graphic. It's very fun. All right, so my audience is, finally, we got, what is it? My audience is really shy today.
Oh, come on, kids.
Yes, my audience is shy today. So, okay, I'm going to ask you a question then, and I'm going to have you draw a card for me.
All right.
I'm in this go for broke period of my PromoHomo.TV adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to inspire more patrons and advertisers really by the end of April in order to keep doing or get acting jobs or professional hosting jobs between now and the end of April. And if I don't do that, I'll keep doing all of the PromoHomo.TV stuff. Aaron, you can ask about whatever you want, and I'll ask Paul about that in just a second. I will continue all of the PromoHomo.TV stuff in whatever way, shape, or form. My sense is I'm going to have no challenge whatsoever in creating the results I want to create by the end of April. So I guess I'd like to have you draw a card that is related to, in general, your feelings about that process.
Well, I did. The card I drew is the Ace of Wands. Now, wands are, this gorgeous card shows literally the hand of God holding a staff with lots and lots of new growth on it. Aces are always the uprush of new energy. And so this idea is its time has come. And we can see in the distance a castle. So when we see something in the distance, this is past achievements, but the hand of God holding this gorgeous staff with all of this new growth on it is also a confirmation of you are exactly on the right path, doing exactly what you do. And the uprush of new energy, the universe meets that. So it can only you can't do the work that you've done, Nicholas, and go backwards. It just can't happen. So as this begins to, and even because you're such a wordsmith, I have always enjoyed your use of language. The universe acknowledges that as well. And so not only to inspire people to come, this is the fun. You are the leading edge of where not only entertainment is going, but how that we, in this new era, are handling entertainment. And under a rainbow flag, which is open for everyone. I love that you are so inclusive. The only exclusion is ugly, dirty, bad, and wrong, and we're not interested in any of that. So I'm so excited for you. I can't stand it.
Well, thank you, Paul. I love that, and I love that particular card. I have been showing pauljacek.com on the screen, and I actually do have a question from Terry, and Aaron Terry, excuse me. And he wants a card about financial foresight related to his life.
Okay. Romance, finance, and hot pants. Here we go, Aaron. Hold on 1 second. And there's the card. Oh, here's what's interesting. This is the page, or the Knight of Cups. And in a very real sense, it's how you're feeling about finance as opposed to what might be. This is how you feel about it as opposed to the pie chart or the paperwork in front of you, Aaron. So it's also where at the Knight, it shows a very handsome man astride a horse that is moving forward, holding the cup. The cup holds all the good things, love, spirituality, the positive aspects of creation. So as you're moving in a new direction, this is how you're feeling about your finances. Many times people will come to me and go, I'm so upset. I'm so frightened. I don't have any money. And I said, well, I would watch that because the universe follows how you feel, not what you think. So in a wonderful sense, with the representation of this card, Aaron, feel good about it. Looking forward because the law of abundance is there's always more of whatever you need. So if you're having any old thoughts or fears or, oh my goodness, watch where you're paying attention to. And isn't it interesting that we use the words for money and we do for time? I can't afford to pay attention. So within this readjustment about thinking about abundance and the beauty, and there's always more of whatever you need. There will be another spring. It's a continual movement forward. So it's a very positive card in this aspect, and that it's just reminding you about how you feel about things around money as opposed to what you think about money.
I'm sure Aaron got a lot out of that. I got distracted when you mentioned handsome man on a horse riding toward me. It's like, seriously, I missed everything you said after that. But I'm sure that Aaron maybe he was distracted too. But the good news for both Aaron and myself is we can go back and watch the show. I want to remind anyone that's watching live, if you type #tarot into the comments while we're live, I'm going to do a drawing to have a winner. Aaron says, "Thank you, Paul. We'll do that. Namaste."
Namaste to you, sir.
And Aaron is a really wonderful people. Paul, one of the things that I've done in my effort to overcome my social anxiety and to spend more time in the real world is on 2 or 3 different occasions, I unfriended everyone from my personal friendship page on Facebook with the intention that I would spend more time in the real world. And then the pandemic happened, and I needed to do something about that. So I've added back in my personal Facebook page, but I say all that to basically state that there are people that have come to mean a lot to me and I to them, and we have a really powerful symbiotic connection that I haven't met in person. And Rock May and Aaron Terry, who are regular viewers and both have become patrons of my show, are two of those people. And by the way, Paul, you recently became a patron of the show, so thank you so much for that.
Oh, well, I am so pleased and proud and excited for you to watch your growth. That's once again the work that you've done personally and professionally, Nicholas. Unless you just drop the energy, it just has to move forward. You can't go backwards. It's so exciting to watch this development. I'm a happy patron of this, a marvelous idea.
Well, thank you very much. So I know that Aaron and Rock, you have both won the sticker in the past, but why don't you, for the fun of it, enter the contest again today by typing in #tarot. And Mary, I see that you've entered, so that's fantastic. So to bring it home, Paul, what is the universe telling you right now?
Well, the universe is such a compassionate place, and people always look at, I have this and this. There will always be situations and instances, but the grounding that we must experience as beings. So the universe will answer you. The universe always says yes, even to your own self-destruction. And I find with some of my clients when they go, well, this is happening. This is the truth. I'm living in hell. And we'll say, well, then let's get through it. It's not a place to stay. Because isn't it interesting that I saw a beautiful painting of a sweet Buddhist monk sitting on the side of a mountain, just gorgeous, by himself. And then I thought, isn't that interesting that we sometimes have to separate ourselves so we can straighten out our thinking or straighten out our feelings. And yet this sweet little monk is there sitting in meditation alone. And yet when somebody really loses it and they are being horrible to themselves and neighbors and things, and it ends up in front of a judge and they end up in jail, and sometimes we put them in where? Solitary confinement. And so isn't it interesting that your own mind can take you to a palace or a prison? So therefore, what the universe is telling me is, since they always say yes, make it good. This is one giant coloring book that you can color any which way you want to. And it's amazing the stories people write for themselves, the story of their life. Some of them are death-defying right to the edge, and some of them are sweet and quiet, and all of them are necessary for the human experience. So the universe today is telling me yes, and then they're saying, what next?
Okay, then. Yes, and what's next? I love that. So, I do have entries into the drawing, and I'm going to do the drawing now. So That means I get to share a particular screen of the drawing board, which I'm going to right now, and that's on the screen. And I'm going to hit draw, and people who are out there are watching. And the winner is Aaron Terry. But guess what, Mary? I'm going to give you a sticker as well, because actually Aaron has won twice, and you were the only entry at the time. I encouraged other people to enter. So Mary, please reach out to me with the contact link at PromoHomo.TV and tell me where to mail your sticker, because I'm going to give you a sticker as well.
Congratulations, Mary.
Yes, and that was so fun to bring up the wheel. As I go live more consistently, I will have a more active live viewership. Most of the people watch my shows after the fact at this point. So I definitely need to bring you back up onto the screen, Paul, so people can see who I'm talking to. So, because of technical difficulties, we've brought Paul into the show today via a speakerphone, and but we've been able to see his mystical face behind a veil and a row of tarot cards. And once again, for private readings, you can go to pauljacek.com, and I'm going to bring that back up and put it on the screen. So, what would you like to say in conclusion, Paul?
Well, I don't know if I've told you this. I have opened a YouTube channel.
Oh, Basic Jacek.
Basic Jacek. You can trottle over there, and it's just some things that roll around in my head that I chat about. And yes, I would love to read for your audience. So pauljacek.com, and I'm actually working on the calendar. There's a way that I'm going to be able to put a button in that people can pay for it right there. So if you can't get a hold of me, drop me a personal a direct message, and we'll find a time. And I'm very, very... Oh, Nicholas, I'm so glad we got to do this. Thank you so much.
I miss seeing your face and seeing the actual cards, but I'm glad that we came up with a way to keep the snow must go on. The show must go on. Yeah. So thank you, Paul, for being here, and I'm sorry about your loss. Send my love and hugs to those who might be experiencing pain at this time.
Thank you so much. And you and I have actually walked that together. One of the sweetest memories is that you took me to breakfast for the first Christmas I did not have my mother, and it's always meant a lot to me. Thank you so much, dear friend.
Well, I love you, Paul, and thanks for being on the show. Have you back soon. All right. Bye. So that was Paul Jacek coming in via speakerphone, and I want to thank you for watching. So I'm going to be doing 5 to 15 live episodes a week between now and the end of April. And I have a show later today on Notes from Hollywood. I'm interviewing Rick Berlin, who is an out musician based in Boston. We're going to be showing an exclusive video that was produced. The song was reproduced as a video, especially for today's episode. So be sure to tune in, and I'm really grateful for all of your support. And I will see you next time.